This is really not looking good. And it looks like this chart will be breaking out to the upside. And these uptrends, they really should not break actually. But there is a little bit hope on the horizon and we need to talk about that in today's video. So guys, I don't like to be the bringer of bad news and it might not be that bad, all that bad right now, but there are definitely some significant warning signals flashing that we have to take into consideration in the shorter term time frame, and you should not ignore the signs that I'm going to share with you in today's video. But very simply, we're going to start with the price action of Bitcoin, as the price action has been our biggest indicator in the past couple of months, and therefore it has been very clear on what's happening. So if we purely look at the price action of Bitcoin and we look purely at this price action, guys, everything looks pretty okay. We had a 60-day cycle low, we have an uptrend without too much corrections, right? We're just consolidating higher, pump higher, small pullback, pump higher, break to new all-time highs. So far, and this is important guys, so far we are holding above the previous all-time highs, and the longer we can hold above these levels, the more positive it basically would be. But if we do see a breakdown back below the previous all-time highs, guys, this can signal a big warning signal, and we are seeing some charts already in the background flashing that this is going to happen before we actually see it in the Bitcoin price. We do not yet have any confirmation of the Bitcoin price action itself, but I'm going to show you right now the charts which are looking a little bit scary. And guys, if you are looking to trade Bitcoin, one of the best exchanges that you can use if you do not want to require any KYC and you are respecting your own privacy is BitUnix. BitUnix exchange right now has a 10% deposit bonus if you sign up with the affiliate link down below. Similar as to BTCC, also a non-KYC exchange. You don't need any VPN to access these platforms, and you basically get a 10% deposit bonus when signing up with one of the affiliate links down below. So guys, right now we are looking at the stablecoin dominance, and this is, I would have to say, the scariest chart in the whole crypto world right now, if you ask me. And if there's any chart that would talk about a big correction or talk about prices coming down for all the crypto, it is this chart, guys. I think this is one of the only charts for me personally that I find very, very scary, and I will explain to you exactly why. So first of all, guys, this chart is showing the dominance of the stablecoins combined from USDC and USDT. What we are seeing right here is that since 2022 we have been forming this falling wedge formation, and it looks like we broke out of this falling wedge formation. We created even a new high right here. It was a little bit similar to this one, but yeah, it was a new high. Very scary, because that means we have the first indication that we might that this chart turns into an uptrend. And guys, if this chart turns into an uptrend, I can tell you already right now, the bull market is over. There is no bull market coming when this chart is in an uptrend. We are going to see big correction over a long period of time, most likely, guys. So that's what's so scary about this. And if we zoom in and we see that we are holding the support, which is the former resistance of that falling wedge, and while holding that support, we form a falling wedge formation. And while having that falling wedge, we have a low with a bullish engulfing candle, the green candle right here, and we form a higher low in the momentum indicator, guys. If this one breaks the resistance, which it looks like it already does right now, then I am expecting this chart to go up, and the technical target would be the top of the falling wedge. This chart, I gotta be really honest with you guys, this chart really looks very, very ugly for the whole crypto space, and it scares me a little bit to see this setup. I actually have hoped that we would have seen more weakness in this chart, but right now we are seeing that turning. But we also should not get ahead of ourselves and panic already too early when we have not yet seeing any confirmations, but I have to be honest, guys, it really looks like that this one is wanting to break out to the upside. That will be devastating for Bitcoin and altcoins in the shorter term time frame. But if this really goes high and breaks above the previous high, guys, this is something we do not want to see at all. Now let's have a look at the US dollar Tether stablecoin dominance. That one looks slightly different, guys. So this high was a lower high than the previous high. That looks a little bit better, right? This one also retraces a little bit further. But as you can see, generally speaking, it's the same setup. We have a falling wedge, we have a higher low in the momentum indicator, lower low in the price, bullish engulfing candle. So what is it that we want to see right here, right? So it just looks like this one is going to break out to the upside. I think the chances are pretty high that this one is going to break out to the upside. That means we are going to see a correction in Bitcoin. Can be a small correction, can be a big correction, but it looks like that's the most likely scenario if you ask me when looking at the data. And guys, I'm trying to be as objective as possible right here. Because of course I want to be the bull. I always want to be the bull because I would love the prices to go up. But seeing a signal like this is the similar what we have done right here. I also said right here and here especially, guys, like we are seeing a top in the Bitcoin price here as well. We probably, if we break this resistance, we have seen a top in the Bitcoin price. And I'm sometimes a little bit too early when saying we have a bottom again, because I said here we are bottoming and then we had that last push. So it was a little bit prematurely, but it like in big terms, it actually has been pretty accurate. This chart is very accurate in predicting tops and bottoms in Bitcoin. And right now we can see that in the shorter term time frame, it looks like we at least have a top in Bitcoin and that we are going to see a correction. And in terms of time, it makes sense as well because we are in the last part of the 60-day cycle, a little bit less than 2 weeks until we have the next 60-day cycle low. So this can come along with a correction. So what do we want to see right here? Well, if this chart breaks out to the upside, guys, we do not want to see this chart going above the 61.80%. We do absolutely not want to see this chart going above here. That would be very bad for Bitcoin. It would be a big correction, would show a lot of weakness. Preferably, we would like to see this chart coming up and get rejected at the 50% level. That is what we actually want to see. Get rejected at the 50% level, and we would love to see that the momentum indicator, maybe not on the daily time frame, but at least in the 4-hour time frame, is really high again. It's really high when we are at 50. So it creates a lot of space again for bearish momentum in this chart, which then can help, of course, Bitcoin to rally further. So in the shorter term time frame, guys, this is a big warning signal, and especially to be honest, guys, especially for altcoins, because altcoins, when Bitcoin drops, altcoins drop way more. But the big question is, of course, are there some positive signs as well right now? Well, if you look at the very short-term time frame, guys, I would say the only positive sign that we have right now is that Bitcoin, of course, is still trading above the previous all-time high, still holding above that level. That is the positive sign right now, and I think we should take this sign, that we should take that most seriously, right? So although it looks like the stablecoin dominance is going to break out and this one is going to break down, well, not that low, but it's going to break down, right? We want to see that confirmation happening in the chart first, right? Because if that doesn't happen in a bull market, guys, something that I've learned in previous bull markets is that we can look at all these momentum indicators and all these things, but when there is a true momentum stepping in, like all these indicators are going out of the door, and we are only left with price action. And if you are reliable on all these indicators, then they would work like in 80% of the market conditions. You will have like very good predictions, but then in that moment where we have this crazy momentum kick off, which could be where we are in right now, right? Because we have already seen a big momentum, then a lot of these indications, they do not work. They do not help you. So that's why we have to prioritize what is most important to us, which facts that we can see, that we can investigate, are the most important things. And I would say, guys, in my personal opinion, it is the price action that is the most important fact that we can see and observe and base our future projections on, okay? So I'm just saying in this video, there is a big warning signal flashing, and if I would, back in the days, I would be more reliable on just like leaning on these charts. I do that less right now, because I want to see confirmation first, right? But I have to say, it looks like that we are going to see a correction. A lot of things are lining up for that, but like I said, I just want to see that confirmation first. Because I've learned from my lessons and all my mistakes that's very important. It's very important, because if you would go on bearish divergences and stuff like this, like a lot of people were calling for corrections right here because of divergences or other indications that they have seen in the chart, and the correction just didn't come. Right, and then the price goes higher, and they are just like, wow, how did the price goes higher? It should not be able to do that. Well, it does that because the price sometimes can do very irrational things, but it is the price. And during these formations, we haven't really gotten any big correction, right? So a small correction does make sense. The rally, I think, is very strong. That rally also went to new highs. So I would say let's lean mostly to this price action, but be reasonable right here. Like, I would not enter fresh longs right here. I would rather maybe short a little bit if I have my whole portfolio in crypto to hedge against a potential drop, because it definitely looks like that we are going to drop. But again, guys, I cannot say this enough. We do not have any confirmation of that yet, and confirmation is going to be so important, as we are going to see a lot of fake signals in this bull market that just will not be followed or backed up by the price, okay? Then, guys, I want to share with you this chart as well. I find this chart, and sadly, it's also a little bit scary. This is the altcoin chart, guys, and I actually hoped, and this is what I said in my previous videos as well, we had this test of the highs, right? Was very nice. We had the test of the highs. We had a rejection here. Basically, we came down, and while we coming down, we went back up, and this is exactly what I said. I said I would like to see a small pullback, because to have a first attempt of break when just touching this level is a low probability. So I want to have a small pullback, then I want to have a retest again. But on that retest, I would actually like to see it break out, but we didn't do that. So we formed a lower high, we didn't break out, and now we're coming back, and we have this uptrend right here. And if we lose this uptrend, I think altcoins can get a dip as well again. And then it's going to be the question, of course, will this megaphone pattern go back to these lows or even lower? I don't hope so, guys. I really don't hope so. But we have to be realistic when looking at these charts, right? I mean, if we form a lower high right here, we cannot just assume that we are going to form a higher low right here and then have another break and then break out. This was a perfect, really nice move. A lot of altcoins gained during this move. But this is a bit, it's just a bit weird. It's not weird, actually, guys. It's just showing weakness. And you can already tell on my face, I don't really like to bring this news. I don't really like to see this reaction. But like William Delbert Gann says, guys, we have to face facts. We have to face facts. So if Bitcoin is going to break below the previous all-time high and going to get like a big correction, which doesn't have to happen but is possible, then I think that the altcoins will come down and we'll get an even bigger correction as well. But this is all still a little bit prematurely. So what is bullish from this chart? Well, the bullish thing from this chart is we do have somewhat of a declining channel right here. And the declining channel is kind of like a bull flag formation. It is a bull flag formation because we've entered from an uptrend. We have a bull flag, and we should, like always, one of the things with a bull flag is we should break out fairly quickly, because the longer we are in the flag, the less chances we are breaking out. And we can see that, for example, right here, maybe with something like here, you know, also kind of like a bull flag, but we stick some time in there, and then later we are just breaking down. So bull flag is often a very short consolidation pattern. This already takes pretty long, so I would already argue whether this is technically, of course, it is a bull flag because we are still in that flag formation. But we should really, like, something really should change right now. We should really see some strength coming in altcoins. We want to see this chart breaking out and have a continuational move to the upside. And we just don't want to wait too long with that anymore, because the longer we wait, the more weakness there basically is in this chart, guys. So this is an important thing that I want to mention in today's video, warning signal. I will keep you guys posted, of course. I will record the videos in the next coming days. I will monitor this closely. I'm personally not selling anything yet, but if this thing breaks down, I'm definitely considering or preparing maybe something to hedge a little bit. And that hedge can be in the form of a short position, where I just use a part of my portfolio to open a short position to at least hedge a little bit for when the price goes down, but to leave the crypto in the portfolio, so whenever the price goes up, I'll just pay a little bit in opportunity cost right here. But I also have some risk management in place where I can protect myself for maybe some bigger losses. And like I said, I don't want this to happen, but I cannot ignore the charts that we are seeing right here. So if this would be a crypto chart, guys, if this would be, for example, the Ripple chart, and it would not be the stablecoins dominance chart, I would see this, and it doesn't really matter what the fundamental of that crypto asset is. I'm just looking at the price action. I would long this chart. We have a clear, we've entered a falling wedge from a shorter term uptrend, right? We've completed a falling wedge formation with a bullish divergence at the end, right now tapping the resistance. The only thing what you like as a breakout trade, if you like to trade breakouts, wait for the breakout and then long this position with a target here and a target here. You know, maybe first target right here, then set a stop loss right here. So when it is then rolling over, you're being stopped out and you have some profits. And when it goes higher, you get even bigger profits. This is how I would approach this if it would be a cryptocurrency, guys. But it is, of course, the stablecoin dominance. But I approach this in the same manner. So when this chart is looking bullish, it basically equals that the crypto market is looking bearish. So this is a big warning signal that I'm seeing right now, guys. And I wanted to share that with you so you can take action based on your personal risk management. So yeah, guys, the next coming days are going to be so important. And I really would love to see, maybe in the next coming weeks, like really should be some strength coming into the altcoin market and in Bitcoin. So yeah, guys, the bounce or the breakout that we're potentially going to see in the stablecoin dominance should be shortly lived, should be very weak, and let's hope for that, because in that regards we can continue this bull market. Guys, if you like to trade, if you want to short altcoins, if you want to long Bitcoin or whatever, you can do that on BitUnix Exchange. BitUnix Exchange, one of the partners of this channel, created a promo for every single one of you to get a 10% deposit bonus, similar as to BTCC. These are all non-KYC exchanges, so you can just register without doing any verification, only your email address. And yeah, be careful, of course, if you are trading with leverage, because it is risky to trade with leverage, and it's definitely not for everybody. But yeah, for the real traders, for the traders that are experienced, that know what they are doing, definitely check out these exchanges and make sure to join with the affiliate link down below, as you will get an extra bonus and you'll support the channel with that as well. Guys, I want to thank you all for watching today's video. I want to wish you all a beautiful day. Sorry for bringing a little bit bad news in today's video. But anyway, I'm trying to face facts right here, learning from the master. Wish you a great day, guys, and see every single one of you in the next video. Bye bye.